Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today we have some non-Call of Duty news that is definitely going to affect Call of Duty going forward, which certainly is going to have Activision and Microsoft a bit worried about the future of the COD franchise. So an old rival is re-entering the gaming space here. I'm talking about the franchise like it's dead, but with 2042, let's be honest here, Battlefield is going to be coming back, and they're using COD as kind of their basis to kind of get people more interested in Battlefield as a whole. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. The entire article is down there in the description. It's coming from Tom Henderson over on his website Insider Gaming. I've covered Tom many times here in the channel. He's one of the most credible leakers and industry insiders out there. If you don't know Tom Henderson, well then you haven't been paying close enough attention. So apparently the next Battlefield game right now has an estimated release date of 2025, probably in October of 2025. So it's kind of a ways away from now. We're not talking about anything that's going to be happening very soon, but the new Battlefield is reportedly coming. The game itself is going to be led by Vince Zampella. I cannot believe this. As somebody who's been playing COD forever and covering Call of Duty forever, like, Vince Zampella is now going to be the lead on the Battlefield series. If you guys don't know him, let me just quickly run it down for you. This dude was the co-founder of Infinity Ward. He made COD, he made COD 2, COD 4, as well as Modern Warfare 2, and then he's done what we've all wanted to do for a long time and just said, fuck you to Activision, left Activision, formed Respawn Entertainment, then of course went on to make Titanfall, as was Apex Legends. Well, now that guy is handling the Battlefield series. In the article, Tom Henderson calls him the head honcho of Battlefield now, which is just crazy. Like, the guy that made COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2 is now leading Battlefield. Like, pretty crazy if you ask me. Battlefield itself, according to Tom and his sources, is apparently going to be going back to its roots. The things that kind of made Battlefield great back in the day after the past couple of Battlefield games have really faltered. I mean, for me personally, I used to play Battlefield all the time, like Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. Like, I didn't play as much as COD, but I loved Battlefield. It was really fun. But the more recent ones, I don't know. I couldn't really get into them. And apparently they've heard that feedback and they're going to take the series back to its roots. 64 player matches, the return of the 4-class system, like the medic, the engineer, the scout, and etc. They're going to overhaul its destruction system. They're basically going to make Battlefield feel like it used to be back in the day, which sounds fantastic. Admittedly, I have not really played much of the more recent Battlefield games, but honestly, why would I? I mean, 2042, I remember playing the beta and just thinking, I just don't care. Like, I don't know, like, it just didn't capture that same magic that the older Battlefield games did. I barely even played it. They're going to be apparently taking Battlefield back to its roots, but it's going to be led by a former Call of Duty guy. And then on top of that, it's also said that the next Battlefield will have a free-to-play Battle Royale mode, similar to Call of Duty's Warzone. And a lot of you are probably already thinking, oh my god, Battle Royale, why won't it die? I know, I understand, I'm kind of tired of it too, but here's the thing. They're going to have a free-to-play BR, which they did not have previously, which is going to help them out quite a bit, just like Call of Duty's Warzone. But the big kicker here is that the Battlefield free-to-play Battle Royale is going to be headed by a guy named Byron B. I think I pronounced his name correctly. He was the general manager of Call of Duty at the time when they initially launched the original Warzone, as well as Call of Duty Mobile. Like, apparently the entire Battle Royale mode is kind of his brainchild. So the guy that made Warzone is going to be making the Battlefield BR. The guy that made COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2 is leading the development of the next Battlefield game. And also, according to Tom Henderson, it looks like this Battlefield Battle Royale is going to have 2 different game modes, again, similar to Warzone. So it's going to have one traditional BR mode, as you would expect, and the other mode is going to be more like a gauntlet, or it's going to be called Gauntlet, where you're going to have teams of players competing in a Battle Royale setting on objective-based modes. And then at the end of each mission, the lowest scoring team will be kicked out. And that actually sounds interesting, because Battlefield, for me, was always known for its objective play. You know what I mean? Like, you could go play Team Deathmatch or whatever, but Battlefield is where PTFO kind of started to become a thing. You know, play the fucking objective. Like, Battlefield people would make fun of COD people, because COD people are just like kill whores, don't really play the objective or anything, whereas, like, there was always this culture within the Battlefield community to play the objective, get those rush bombs, get those conquest flags, like, take out those tanks, do this, do that. Like, the objective was always paramount in Battlefield, at least back when I played. So having a second mode that might be sort of similar to Call of Duty's Resurgence mode for Warzone, that incorporates lots of objectives, and if you're not playing the objective, you get kicked out. That sounds kind of cool. That could potentially be pretty fun. But going back to what I was talking about towards the beginning of the video, I think this is going to have Activision and Microsoft kind of paying attention. You know, they're going to be a bit worried about this, because Battlefield has not really been a great contender to COD in a long time. And obviously people always say they're 2 different games, why do you compare them? It doesn't matter how different they are. At the end of the day, they're still shooter games, and back when COD and Battlefield were duking it out, that was when COD and Battlefield were at their best, at least in my opinion. I'm sure the opinion of many of you out there. Competition makes these games better, and having Battlefield come back out and having it actually be good, and having the Battle Royale thing, which is going to make them have to try harder in Warzone, having the Battlefield multiplayer going back to its roots a bit, which is going to offer a bit different than what COD fans are used to, it's going to bring competition to the shooter market, to the shooter genre, and all ships rise in this scenario if you are a fan or if you are a consumer. It just means that Call of Duty, if Battlefield's good, man, Call of Duty's going to have to work harder. They're going to have to try to do more things to kind of keep you playing it and not playing Battlefield, and Battlefield's got to try really hard to get you off of COD and go over to their game. And then, of course, X-Defiant's going to be already out and already in the swing of things and everything, so we might see a bit of a resurgence here, forgive the pun, of the shooter genre right now, because I think we can all agree it's kind of stagnated a little bit. I mean, having games like Hell Let Loose and Helldivers 2, like things like that are good. It's good to have that competition happening there, but like bringing back one of Call of Duty's oldest rivals sounds like one of the best things that could actually happen for COD. And as an old school Battlefield fan and shooter fan in general, I'm excited to see what this new Battlefield is going to be like, especially when it's being headed by so many Call of Duty people, and it's also apparently taking Battlefield back to its original roots, the roots of which made the series so damn good in the first place. I'll never forget the first time I rented, actually back when renting was a thing, Bad Company 2, because my buddy had it and he really wanted me to play it with him. I picked an engineer because I didn't really know what I was doing or where I was going, but he said if I placed mines out there in the roads, I could blow up tanks. So I spent the entire game just trying to blow up enemy tanks, and every time I got one, it felt really damn good. And the leveling in Battlefield was always really slow, so every time you did level up, it felt really damn good. You didn't get nearly as many kills in a game of Conquest or Rush as you would something like Domination or Hardpoint in COD, so every time I got a kill, it felt really good. Every time I blew up a helicopter, it felt really good. Every time I went in and Rambo revived a teammate just for us both to immediately get gunned down right after, that didn't really feel great, but it was fun being able to revive them, chasing down people with my low revive zappers going clear, clear, trying to take out people, meleeing with them, like little things like that, man. Like, or taking the repair tool and trying to burn a player, or hopping into the backseat of the helicopter and repairing your helicopter while it's flying as we're getting bullets and rockets shot at us. Like, Battlefield was so much fun for me back when, and just the newer games never really captured that same magic. And it's always tough to catch lightning in a bottle, but you know what? It sounds like they're going to be trying to do that, and that has me pretty excited. And as always, I'll keep you guys posted as we learn more about this. I'm going to do my best to kind of cover Battlefield news as well as COD news. Of course, X-Defiant, if we ever see that game or get news for it. It's been well over a month, and then before that news we had to wait like 2 more months. Like, man, I hope X-Defiant comes out soon. I am very excited for it, but as always, I'll keep you guys posted, so be sure to subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.